What's up, everybody? My name is Josh LaFleur from Ladestar Piano. Today I'm going to tell you and explain to you how do you know if you're actually making progress while you're playing the piano. So it seems like a simple question, but I'm sure if you're serious about piano in any way, then you're probably practicing a good amount, at least 30 minutes every day, at least an hour every day, whatever it is. And you're probably working on your pieces, your technique, and all of that stuff as well, your music theory. So you're putting in all this time, all this effort. How do you actually know that you're getting better? And there's a difference between playing a song better, which you can argue is improving at the piano. But in this video, I'm specifically talking about getting better overall at the piano. So not just getting the muscle memory to play a specific song, although that's part of it. That's part of getting better at playing the piano and getting better at the piano overall. But also, are you getting better technique wise? Are you getting better musicality wise, as far as can you express what's written on the sheet music? Can you actually make that come alive and make that part of your performance? Are you improving with your music theory? Can you learn songs faster? Do you understand concepts before now that you didn't understand before? Those are all part of getting better at the piano as well, not just getting better at songs. So I'm going to give you 3 different ways to 100% foolproof guaranteed ways that you'll know that you're getting better. First way here, just jumping right in, is getting a teacher. So I'm pausing there because this is by far the most important point of the entire video. It's the number one way that you can guarantee to yourself that you know and actually measure your progress at the piano. Now, what does a teacher do that's so great? Why do you even need to pay a teacher? Because we're talking about paying 60 bucks an hour, let's say, 30 bucks for a half hour. I'm asking you to shell out, or not asking, but I'm advising that you shell out about 250 bucks a month to a teacher to improve your piano. Now, for most of you, that's probably a good amount of money, 250 bucks a month. Why invest? Well, let me tell you why right now. When you pay your piano teacher, not only are they helping you with playing whatever song that you're supposed to be working on, not only are they helping you technique-wise, not only are they helping you musicality-wise, like we talked about earlier, being able to express what's written on the page, and not only are they able to help you understand music theory, as far as your scales, arpeggios, playing by ear, recognizing intervals, all that stuff. Yes, that's expected. When you pay a piano teacher, they should be doing all that for sure. But the bigger point and the bigger benefit, I think, of paying a teacher is that they hold you accountable. Now, what does that mean? They hold you accountable because, for one, you know you have that weekly lesson coming up. So when you know you have that weekly lesson, there should be a demand of you to have something ready by that next lesson. So maybe you should have your hand-in exercise at 160 beats per minute. And last week it was at 150. Your teacher said, look, I want you to get that up to 160 beats per minute. Come back and do that. Or maybe you've been struggling on a certain piece of the song and it's a real pain in the ass for you. You're having a lot of issues with it. And your teacher says, look, go back, play it, just keep playing it over and over and come back. I want you to be able to play that specific section, that 2 or 3 bars at tempo next time I see you. So that's part of it. That's one accountability I'm talking about. Another part of the accountability is that they can tell you what needs to be improved. They don't have to worry about hurting your feelings or being overly nice or sugarcoating anything because you're paying a professional, somebody who has no obligation to sugarcoat anything. They don't really care, at least they shouldn't really care how you feel, because their job is to help you get better. So for example, if you're taking lessons from, let's say, a family member or a friend and they're just being nice to you, they say, you know what, give me 10 bucks an hour, I'll teach you, or maybe you're not paying them at all. That's not the same as paying a professional teacher what they should be getting paid, who has no relation to you and doesn't care if you stay friends or not. Because when you have that accountability partner and that teacher, they're going to be able to tell you things that you don't want to hear, that may not make you feel very good, but that need to be worked on. And guess what? When you work on something that needs to be worked on and you try to fix your weaknesses, you're getting better at the piano overall. So like my previous example, let's say he says, your piano teacher, or he or she says, that you need to get this specific hand exercise up to 160 beats per minute. Right now you're at 150 beats and you need to get up to 160. Well, to get up to 160, what is that going to do? Well, it's going to help you release tension in your hand, in your forearm, and in your elbow, because the less tension you have, the faster that you can play. It's also going to help with your finger coordination, getting control of your fingers. It also can help you with your dynamics and your expression. Say, ascending up the hand in exercise, you're playing forte, and if you're descending, you're playing pianissimo. So now you're working on different ranges. You're working on 3 different things all in one. You're working on your music theory, because your hand drills are usually some kind of scale, usually in C major. So you're working on that. You can work on your dynamics at the same time. You're working on your hand coordination, because you have 2 hands doing something at the same time. You're working on your finger independence. There's a whole ton of stuff you're working on. You're working on your posture. Maybe you're really tight in your back. You need to loosen up. You're working on your tension in your hands, your wrist. There's so many different things that you're working on when you work on your weaknesses when playing the piano. And that's really what the teacher is for, is they need to point these things out and hold you accountable. So I just spent a lot of time explaining a teacher and how they can guarantee you get that feedback, because it's so, so important. But let's say you don't care and you're not that serious and you don't want to pay. What else can you do? Well, the second best thing is, if you don't want to pay, is record yourself. Record yourself playing. Ideally, you want to get some kind of full body view. So if you can get a microphone stand, something like I have, some kind of tripod or ring light where you can put your phone on and you can see your whole body, so that you can see your posture, you can see how your relation is between you and the piano, you can see your technique, you can see everything. And when you record yourself, you'll be able to at least see what you're doing technique-wise. You can see if you're tense, you can see if you're slouched, you can see if you're really tight in the shoulders, you can see your technique. Maybe there's something wrong in your technique, maybe you're not doing a wrist rotation, maybe your elbow is flaring out, something like that. You'll be able to actually see that on the video. And of course, you'll be able to hear what you're playing. So if you hit a wrong note, if your phrasing is off, if you're holding a note for too long, if you're holding a note for too short, if you're playing a flat when you should be playing a natural, all of those things you can go back, listen to yourself, watch yourself, and you basically can be your own teacher. Not as good as having a teacher, but it's the next best thing. Third thing that you can do is, if you don't want to record yourself, you don't want to pay a teacher, you can always go back to old songs that you've played and try to play them again, see if you can improve them. So for example, if you're going through the method books, like the Alfred series behind me there on the sheet music holder, say you just finished up level 1 and now you're working on level 2, you can go back to a level 1 song, maybe in the middle of the book or at the end of the book, see if you can play it without practicing. See if you can just sit down and bang it out the way it should be. And if you can, awesome. See if you can add something. Maybe you can add some kind of reharmonization with the chords, something like that. Maybe you can add some kind of improvisation section in there as well. Maybe you can add octaves where you normally didn't have octaves. Try to change something about it, make it a little bit more difficult. Maybe put it into another key. So now you can work on your transposing skills as well. All these things you can do just to help you get better, make sure that you're improving, because if you go back to a level 1 song and you really have struggles playing with it or playing it, and you can't really play it period from start to finish, you don't have that kind of flow, then you probably should go back and rework it, because maybe you went too quickly, maybe you skipped through it and you should have spent a little bit more time on it, maybe it's another reason. Whatever it is, you should be able to go back and pretty much look at any song in the book and be able to play it. Even if it's slowly, you should have some kind of flow where you can play that song, because that's part of getting better at the piano, is you should be able to sit down, play easier level songs. I'm not talking about something crazy, but easier level songs you should be able to go back, sit down to, and play it, right? Because you don't have that muscle memory anymore, but you should still be able to play that song. So those are 3 different ways you can do to make sure that you're improving, make sure that you're getting better as you go. First way, again, most important way, just to recap, is having that teacher, because they'll take care of all that for you. All you do is work on what you're supposed to be doing, show up and you will improve, guaranteed, 100%, no doubts about it. Second thing you can do is, if you don't want to pay for a teacher, is record yourself. Again, go back, listen to yourself, what you're playing, go back and see how you're playing, technique-wise, posture-wise, all of that. Third thing you can do is go back to old method books or old songs that you were working on and make sure that you can still play them without any muscle memory, or if you did develop muscle memory, hopefully it's gone, and you can go back and just basically sight read it, even though it's not technically sight reading, but go back and play it. And again, you should have that flow of being able to play from start to finish. So those 3 ways you can use to help you to make sure that you're actually getting better at the piano and you're not just working on getting better at playing songs. Again, that's part of, obviously that's the main reason people play piano, is because they want to play songs, but you also want to make sure you're working on everything else. You're improving as a piano player, not just improving on a specific piece. Hope that makes sense. Hope that helps. Any questions, let me know. Again, my name is Josh LaFleur from Late Start Piano.